Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kenji Land. My name is Livethejourney, and boy, oh boy, have I got a lot going on right now. Uh, don't mind the smell. Um, I swear that's the beacon. It's not me. Oh. Anyway, with the new 1.18 update finally coming out, we've got a lot to be excited about. Personally, there's some things I'm looking forward to using and exploring as soon as the opportunity presents itself. This build behind me is going to be, I'm not going to say a mega build because I'm not really sure what makes a build mega, but it's going to be a big build, my biggest build yet. And I'm getting ready for it. I know that I'm going to need some of the stuff that I can only find in caves and cliffs. But in the meantime, I've marked out my area here. I've spawn-proofed it to the best of my ability. And I've started gathering materials. Because my plans, for me at least, are pretty ambitious. All right, let's take a look. Oh, good, okay. So this massive wall of dirt here is actually a built-up area that the main building is going to be on. And I wanted to have it enclosed by a retaining wall made of stone brick. Now, to get a proper kind of feel, it needs to be stone brick and mossy stone brick mixed together kind of semi-randomly. Which means I needed a couple farms. Now, I've already got the stone farm. That was super simple. What I needed was a moss farm, and that's what I'm working on today. So the specific moss farm I'm building is one put out by Silent Whispers. I don't know if he got the design from somebody else, but I'll make sure to link his tutorial in the comments below, so that if you want to build this thing, you can. I will tell you that the video is only 25 minutes, but the building process is going to take you a whole lot longer unless you're better at following directions than I am. But when you're done, this thing is incredible. It produces mountains of material. And that's where I started to get my first idea about upgrades. I decided I needed a sorter. Something, so that I could keep the moss, but filter out any of the other stuff into a composter to be turned into bone meal. So after the chests were all in place and the filters were set up, I set up this as well. A simple switch that would allow me to turn this thing off and on. I had to use a torch tower because the spot at the top is pretty high up, but I think it was worth it to be able to turn it off and on from inside. And it means I can enclose this whole area. Now, I have my stonemasons guild, so I have a lot of quartz. And I figured that would be my building block of choice for this particular area. There we go, just a little light to let us know when everything's running. As if the deafening noise wasn't enough to tell us that. Okay. So, we're almost done the basic shape of the interior here. The exterior is going to be more work because I do want it to look like a building that fits into this area. I'm guessing most people who use this farm design build it out in the middle of nowhere or in an industrial area where looks don't matter. But I've chosen to build this right next to my main building, so it's going to have to be a little fancier. Some windows. Let's change that up for the smooth. Oops. Yeah, I like that. And actually, I can texture up the smooth a bit by putting in like random holes and putting the normal quartz blocks in there. Kind of the same way you do with the different kinds of cobble as you're going along. There we go. All right, let's take a look at it. Oh, those parrots. Okay, so it is very, very white. it's going to need some detailing and some color variation. Right off the bat, if we get rid of that white porch-ish area and replace it with something made of wood, I think it'll look a lot better. Plus, that fits better with the general feeling of this area anyway, because I've got at least 2 colors on every building. Most of them are white and have then a wood accent or framing. So we'll give that a shot again. The roof area. Actually, this will be more like a balcony, I think. It's a little close to the main build, which is unfortunate, but I think that's okay. The other area is elevated. It's going to have a fence around it. It'll be fine. And this should make this building look a little cooler. Yeah. There we go. That's breaking up the lines a bit. And some fences. Can't have a balcony without a railing, right? That would just be dangerous. And the shape, if we go by the shape of the farm, it'll make things a little more interesting. It won't just be a square. That could give it a more unique look. There we go. Clip some corners. Okay. I like the sound of lava as you're going by there. All right. So now we got to work on the roof, and I'm going to try to use the same style of roof that I've used for the other buildings here. That means you have the one color of wood that sort of makes the frame for it, and then another kind on the inside. Like, we started off by making something that was vaguely Mondstadt-like from Genshin Impact, but now it's sort of got its own feel, I think. Now it's matching itself rather than trying to match something else. And I think that's probably the best. Need some more detail here and to make it more interesting. So let's put the door there, then frame it up with some dark oak, the same as the roof. Sadly, it is at this point where the rest of my footage was corrupted. So, I can't show you the rest of the build. What I can do is give you a tour of the finished product. So let's do that now. Let's take a look. There we have it. What do you think? What do you think? We've got the... Forgot my redstone box. We've got some nice accents there from the dark oak, I think. And the prismarine roof... Oh, my... Yeah. Let's pretend you didn't see that, okay? Should be a warning sign there. All right. So we've got the prismarine roof that I think sets it off nicely too. You've got 3 colors again, like all the other buildings. It makes it fit into the neighborhood. And I really think it does look interesting because of all the different shapes to the windows, the different sizes to things. And I'm going to put a stall back here, I think, as well as something on this side. Maybe another window like the one we have on the workshop over there. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, it's a work in progress. Nothing is ever done in Minecraft. But I like it the way it is now. Let's take a better look. You can see my roof from up here. And here's our walkway. And I like the entrance to this. Though the smaller one is a little kind of... And you can't actually walk all the way around. But it does give you excellent access for maintenance to take a look in here if you need to fix anything. And you can see every part of the machine. So let's talk about what this machine can actually do. as I mentioned earlier, it produces a massive amount of stuff. Massive. And right now, it's still sorting through one of my earlier runs. Because... Here, let's turn it on for a second. Oh, bone meal first. Putting an entire stack of bone meal through this thing takes about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I've timed it. But sorting it after you're done putting it through takes almost 20 minutes. And that's regardless of whether you're sorting it directly or putting it through. Oh, that's so satisfying to watch. It really, I like that. Okay, so whether you're sorting it or putting it through a composter to become bone meal, it still takes about 20 minutes. And that's because I don't know how to build the quick system that Silent Whispers used. He didn't include the tutorial for that in his video. Shame, shame. But I've got this. If I want to skip the sorting, I can just put it straight into my composter, which will bring it out here. Let's turn this off so you can hear me a little better. There we go. You can still hear the composter going, though. Look at the amount of stuff that's going through here. And we didn't actually run that all that long. It wasn't even a full stack of bone meal that I put through it. But you can see it's starting to add up. Not so much in that one, but that's because I keep putting it back into the system. But check out what we've got out of it. All of this... Oh, okay, that one's not full yet. Some azaleas, some flowering azaleas in the other one, some carpets, and all the seeds are going into the composter, of course. The idea being that the overflow also goes into the composter, so eventually all these chests will be full, and everything will just go into the composter, and it'll become pure bone meal. I like the idea of that. In the meantime, I do have my little device for getting instant bone meal. You can still hear it going, but that's not... it's not feeding into there anymore. That's just it continuing what it already had. Because you can see it's now coming into the sorting system properly. So there you go. It's working perfectly. And it worked so well, actually, that check out my wall here. I was able to get all the moss blocks I needed to make mossy cobble and do up this side of the wall. Eventually, I'll be able to do the whole thing. All around this area will eventually be the rest of the village. Some more buildings that are more plot-based, I think, rather than farms and functional buildings. Sort of like we have at the workshop out front. And we'll have some more waterfront area over here. Anyway, I hope you like what we built today. I like it a lot. I think it's great. So, if you like what I'm doing here on Kenji Land, please drop a like. If you want to know when we've got new videos out, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. And no matter what, guys, drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I really would. And once again, I swear, these are not stink lines. Bye!